Good morning. Maddie and I are here hanging out. We're actually at Hollywood Studios filming for our Webs Vlog Around YouTube channel. And the reason we're here is we're showing off free things to do for people that have passes. And luckily for us, we've been able to have that blessing early last year, and we're exhausting that opportunity as much as we can and
Well, it's
enjoying it.
also the 35th anniversary of Hollywood Studios, aka MGM Studios.
Yep,
And we decided to come celebrate since we're in the area. So, yeah. But we
exactly.
had an epiphany this morning.
Yes, we were
Um,
talking on the way here, and Madeline started speaking, and I just want you to hear from her because it is, I think it's amazing. And as a mom, I'm proud. So go for it.
and we're also trying to wait out all the long lines to get in.
Oh, well, yes, that's it.
Yeah, so we were pulling in for parking, and they usually have a super long line that you have to like park all the way down at the end. You can map it out, and sometimes you get lucky and whatever else. Well, one of the crazy parts is we ended up getting parked on the very end of a row and as close as possible without paying for the preferred parking, and that's really difficult to do. And so,
I'm sorry, we have a distraction point here going on.
oh my goodness.
He walked a baby ducks. We have to start over. He walked all the mom and the baby ducks across to here. Amazingness. Hi, babies.
We had to pause for a duck effect. Yeah. So we ended up parking at the end of this row. That's probably as close as you can get without paying for preferred parking, and that's very difficult to do. And I just felt super overwhelmed with the realization that the last few days and last night we've been listening to a lot of people proclaiming things about this year, the time in life we're at, that kind of stuff, and I personally believe that people have the ability to speak into your life without knowing you. And we've met quite a few people recently that have spoken into our lives that just knew exactly what we're dealing with without really knowing why. And that was really crazy for me. And then last night we were listening, and it was like there was this lady going, "Hey, don't let this stuff stop you. Don't let the devil distract you. Don't let him tell you that you don't have belief in stuff anymore." And don't distract him from the things that God's already shown you. And I'm like, oh wow, okay. So then we get this amazing parking spot, and it may seem little to you, but for me, the thing that really stood out was the fact that we tend to get pushback when we're not listening very well. So, like, for example, I come to Disney parks quite often. I really love coming here. Certain days when I believe I'm listening to God all the way, that everything's going right, God just like aligns things. So you have the perfect day, you have the perfect timing on certain things. You may get a special time with a cast member that's here, and they may bless you in some way that you didn't expect. It's just little things, right? May have no line for the bathroom. It could be something simple as that, and you just have to thank God for it. Well, then this happens this morning, and it's the first time we've probably gotten parking this close in a long time. And it's also the first time I feel like I'm actually listening to God and actually obeying what He has to say. So it's very interesting. So I'm looking forward to the rest of the day. But whenever stuff's going right, usually that means that you are doing something right and that God's willing to bless you. And if you're receiving certain pushbacks, what is it that you are missing that you need to listen to? So that was it.
Yeah, well, I was thinking, when she was talking about this in the car, I was really proud of her, of course, as a mom. It's really cool, but it's also neat to have, my daughters both and Nate all in this growing point together. And one thing that I was thinking as she was talking was, how many times did the people that Moses led, his people, God's people, fail when he walked away? And it was because they did not look backwards to look forwards when he would walk away for his time to learn the next steps. And so they would go and they would default to behaviors that were maybe trained into them or instinctually programmed or whatever. Human nature, we'll go with that. Yes, but also societally, like they had certain things programmed into them back where they'd been rescued from. That was what they were doing with idol worship and things like that. And if you think about it, like, had they looked backwards and seen and remembered where their water came from and their food came from and how they were provided for and protected, and the water dividing and getting through that and escaping and all of the different things, if they had value in looking backwards and remembering, they would have the ability to have richness in trusting what the today and tomorrow brings. And instead, they just did not pay attention to those things, and they defaulted to things that were worldly and things that were not beneficial to them ultimately. And they had generational consequences. So 4 generations had to wander in the desert before they were able to reach the promised land. I don't want generational consequences. I am always looking.
That.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
And I don't think you either. But yeah, but I don't want to be in a place where I forget to look backwards to remember His faithfulness, God's faithfulness, and the consistency and the promises kept and everything. I don't want to forget to look backwards, to look forwards, and to know that's concrete evidence in my life personally, in our lives personally, that says that He's here today even when you can't see it. So don't make dumb decisions just because you can't see the solution ahead of you, because it's in God's hands, and He's always proven Himself to be faithful. And the only time that you had trouble or I've had trouble is because we took it in our own hands.
Yeah. So the only thing I'm taking in my hands today is that we're going into this park here in the next few minutes, and we're going to enjoy a day today, because that's obviously God's allowing us to be here.
Yep,
today.
He blessed it so to be free to us.
We
Yes.
were meant to be here.
Yeah,
Okay.
free to us, and free is beautiful. We have our lunch packed and everything. We're ready to go.
So thank you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Bye.